Namaskar students. Today we are going to discuss about the human nervous system, which is under body structure and life processes of grade 9 science and technology. Dear students, all of you be ready for our class. All of you take out your books, copy and pen as well as pencil, eraser, etc. also. Today, just have you seen anything around you just now? Yes, you see. How do you know that? What is that? Yes, by seeing through your eyes, you are recognizing those things. Similarly, during summer season, we feel very hot. During winter season, we feel very cold. And sometimes when we touch hot object, we draw our hand backward. Similarly, if something is going to fall in our eye, we used to blink our eyes. How does all these activities we perform? How do we know about our surrounding? Just think for some time. Yes. Whatever the things, whatever the activities, what are the changes which are going on around us, all those things we know through our sense organs. How many sense organs we have? Yes, we have 5 sense organs. What are those? Yes, eyes, nose, ear, tongue and skin. These 5 sense organs help us to know about our surrounding. What things changing, how environment is going on, or what are the changes occur in our surrounding, we know throughout this sense organ. Then how these sense organ know these changes? Yes, already you have learned about the nervous tissue in a previous lesson. So, this nervous tissue make a system. That means they are connecting this sense organ with our what? Central part of nervous system. So, what is that? Which system is enabling us to know about our surrounding? Can you guess now? Yes, it is nervous system. Today, we are going to discuss about this human nervous system. Now, I am speaking, you are listening and you are learning something and you are thinking what is going on. And whatever I am speaking or teaching you, there is some logical things, some other things, that means creative things are also there. Those all are connected with our nervous system. That means how we think, how we speak, how we see, all those are connected with our nervous system. So, today just we discuss about the human nervous system. What is human nervous system? Now, how many systems do we have? In human body, how many systems are there? Yes, there are 9 systems. Out of 9 systems, today we discuss about the human nervous system. How the nervous system is composed of? All of you know that. Human nervous system is made up of nervous tissue. Yes, already you have learned about the types of tissue. On that, one of the major type of tissue is nervous tissue. Yes, the basic unit of nervous tissue or the single cell of nervous tissue is called neuron. So, our whole human nervous system is made up of millions of neurons. But if we discuss about the main parts of our nervous system, mainly there are 3 parts. Okay, what are those? There is central nervous system, peripheral nervous system and autonomic nervous system. Here again, where is the nervous system, you may think. Okay, what is this? This is our skull. Inside the skull there is brain, and just backside there is a backbone. Inside the backbone there is spinal cord. Similarly, from this brain to our eyes, nose, ear and different organ, how they are connected, there is different kind of nerves. Those nerves are connecting our sense organs to the central nervous system, that those nerves form the peripheral nervous system. And again there is some autonomic actions are going on in our body. Those are also controlled by some another part of nervous system, that is called autonomic nervous system. So based on the structure and their function, human nervous system is classified into 3 parts. What are those? Just let's see. First, just now I talked central nervous system. Yes, where is it? Just see here, it is at the axial part of our body, from head to this tail region. From head to tail region we have a axial part, that means a central part. There is our central nervous system. See here in this picture, the central nervous system is composed of brain and spinal cord. Here brain is protected inside the cranium and spinal cord is protected inside the vertebral column. And next part is peripheral nervous system. Already I have told you, peripheral nervous system means, see, this is brain, this is spinal cord. From this many nerve fibers are arising and connecting the different organs of our body with central nervous system. These are called nerves or nerve fibers, and these nerve fibers compose the peripheral nervous system. And next one is autonomic nervous system. See, this autonomic nervous system, how it is made up of? This is central nervous system, brain, spinal cord. Just parallel to the spinal cord, there are small nerve knots, knot-like structures which is made up of nerve fibers. Those are called ganglia. These are parallelly present to the spinal cord. This forms the autonomic nervous system. These are the 3 parts of human nervous system. Just recall it. What are those? Our whole nervous system is divided into 3 parts. First one is central nervous system, head to tail. Then peripheral nervous system, from central nervous system to different organs, different parts of the body. And autonomic nervous system, which is just present on the back side, that is just parallel to the, which one? Spinal cord. So these are the main 3 parts of human nervous system. And next one is central nervous system. We discussed about the central nervous system in detail. Okay, already you know that in the central nervous system there are mainly 2 parts. What are those? Brain and spinal cord. All of you know that. Now already I have told you it is extended from head to tail. Okay, that is in a central part of the body. This is made up of brain and spinal cord, and these all, either brain or spinal cord or nerve fibers, all are made up of nervous tissue or the neurons and some connected tissue called glia. That means those, even especially those glia are also called neuroglia because they are covering the neurons. So these are also called neuroglia. In this way, there is, that means you know that neuron is a basic unit of nervous tissue. So it is a basic unit of nervous system too. Already you have discussed about the neuron. Yes, how it is? In previous lesson also we have discussed about this neuron. See, how is it? Just you have already known about this. In previous lesson also we have already discussed. This is the structure of neuron. It has dendrites, Okay, these are the dendrites. And this is axon, and this one is cell body. Here these three parts mainly we consider, where there is a nucleus also. These dendrites carries the information towards the cell body, and axon carries the information away from the cell body. In this way they transmit the sensation or the stimuli from one part of the body to the another part of the body. And just now I told you, here say this is just in the central nervous system. What is there? There is brain and there is spinal cord. Only central nervous system contains just this brain and spinal cord. So this, in this we are going to discuss today only about this brain. Okay, in the central nervous system already you know that there is brain and spinal cord. Now can we know which part is which one in this figure? See here, there is a figure is given, and can you identify now what are the parts of this nervous system? Yes, there are options are also given. Peripheral nervous system, autonomic nervous system, brain, spinal cord, it is given. And there are A, B, C and D is given here options. That means which is the A part? Can you say? Yes, which one is the A part? Can you say? Okay, A is the which part? A is the brain. Very good. And B, which part? Can you guess? B is autonomic nervous system. And C, which one? C is spinal cord. And D, peripheral nervous system. All of you draw this whole nervous system and label them as these parts also in your copy. Okay, next one is brain. Okay, have you seen this fruit? What fruit is this? Yes, which fruit is this? Yes, it is walnut. Is it? What is the shape of this? Yes, which shape is this? How is it? Which part of our, that means body, is resembles with this fruit? Can you guess? Yes, it is brain. Yes, see, our brain is also inside the cranium. The cranium is the hardest bony box. Similarly, this walnut is also covered inside the very hard bony box. Yeah, this is. Yes, it is very hard. And inside this, the structure of this walnut here, how is it? It is also highly folded. Yeah, there is also a suture. Yeah, fissure is present here, which is dividing it into two equal parts. Here, see? Okay. And similarly, our brain is also like this only. It directly, that means it is resemble with our brain. Here, there are many folded parts are there. Yeah, in the middle there is a fissure which is dividing into two hemisphere. Yes, it is, our brain is also same. It is also that just now I told you, our brain is covered inside the cranium. Here the walnut wall is very hard, which is protecting this delicate part. Okay, this is also delicate part. So our brain is resemble with this walnut. Now, how is brain? What are the parts of brain? Can we? Okay, let's draw the brain, all of you. Okay, just it is very simple. You can sketch the brain in a simple way. No need to make it very complex. Okay, simply we can make it in this way. Yeah, just make it. And like this, another hemisphere. Yeah, now this is another part. Just you can make it like this. Okay, we can make it in the same simple manner. Just label it. What is this? cerebrum. Our brain has mainly three parts. The largest part, this is called cerebrum, and another small one, this one, which is just like a lemon. Okay, this is called cerebellum, and this part is called brainstem. Total part is called brainstem, and it also has three parts. Okay, this last part, this much is called medulla oblongata, and this part is pons baroli. Okay, and this is midbrain. This one is midbrain. In this way, we can label the brain. Okay, all of you try to draw in your copy very simple figure of brain. Okay, here mainly three parts. What are those? Cerebrum, cerebellum, and brainstem. Within brainstem, again there are three parts. What are those? Medulla oblongata, pons baroli, and midbrain. In this way, we can draw a simple figure of brain. Practice it. Now, just now I have drawn here three parts. Then what are those three parts? See here also. Yes, there is a model of brain. Yes, I have made it from clay. Okay, just if you see the front view, just see it is highly folded. Yeah, there is a fissure, that means cut, we can see deep fissure is seen, which divide this cerebrum. That means this large part is cerebrum. This cerebrum is divided into two hemispherical parts. Okay, and two hemisphere, left and right, and just below this cerebrum occupies nearly 80%. Okay, and down just like a small lemon sized. Okay, this part is called cerebellum, and this part, whole part, this is called brainstem, where this part is what? This is the medulla oblongata, this is pons baroli, this orange part, and this one cream colored part is midbrain. In this way, we can make a model of brain also. You also try to make it, okay, by using clay. You can use the clay to prepare this model. Okay, all of you try. Just buy the clay and you can make. Even if you don't have the clay, you can use the maida or wheat flour also to make this. Okay, and color it. Then you can shape and make the just model of brain. Now that means I told you this a large part which is bigger one. Yeah, this is called cerebrum. Okay, and these are, what are these? The lemon shape structure which are semi-spherical, these are called what? Cerebellum. Okay, and this is midbrain. In that midbrain also three parts already you know. Now, what is brain already you know? Brain is a very delicate and very important or the vital organ of our body, which is protected inside our cranium. It is present in the uppermost part of our body, and this brain control whole body. That means each and every organs of our body is controlled by the brain, as well as it coordinate among the organs also. That means there are different systems in our body. Different systems are made up of different organs. Those are coordinated by the brain. And next, this our brain is, suppose this is the structure of brain. Yeah, it is covered with a thin membrane layer. From outside, it is covered with a thin 3-layered membrane, which is called meninges. Have you ever heard meningitis? Yes, some people used to suffer from the meningitis. Yeah, that means at that time their meninges is infected and there is damage occurs in the meninges, which is called meningitis. Okay, and this meninges is made up of 3 layers. It is a 3-layered membrane. That is, though, what are those 3 layers? First, which is connected to the, just like see the outermost here, suppose if we say that this is a cranium, the upper layer which is just attached to this cranium, that is dura mater, and then after there is a arachnoid, and which is connected to this, that means which is attached to the brain layer, that is called pia mater. And in between the dura mater and pia mater there is a gap. Okay, there is a gap between the arachnoid and pia mater, there is a gap. Okay, in between that arachnoid and pia mater, that gap is filled with a liquid substance, a fluidy substance. That fluid is called cerebrospinal fluid. Okay, that is called what? Cerebrospinal fluid. That cerebrospinal fluid is made up of water, minerals, glucose and protein, and it is the fluid which nourishes the brain. It nourishes the brain as well as it protects the brain from the mechanical shock also. That means it acts as a mechanical shock absorber. Sometimes we strike somewhere on the wall, sometimes we fall down. At that time our head is struck on the ground or somewhere. At that time due to that fluid, it absorbs the shock and it protects the brain. In that way it acts as a protective fluid for the brain. And now just see in this picture, just now we have discussed what are the three parts of the brain, that is cerebrum, cerebellum and brainstem. Already we have seen in the model as well as in the board also picture we have drawn. Next, what is cerebrum and what are the different parts of cerebrum? See, in this 4 parts are shown. In the cerebrum there are 4 parts. What are those? This is the frontal part. See, this is frontal lobe, then temporal lobe, and backside this is occipital lobe and parietal lobe. See here in this part, okay, this one is the frontal lobe, and just below, that means this is, we have already learned about the skeletal system. Yeah, in the skeletal system, frontal bone, parietal bone, temporal bone, occipital bone. Just based on that, the lobe's name is also in the same way. That is just inside the frontal bone, this is frontal lobe, and just below, that means inside the parietal bones, this is parietal lobe. Yeah, this is parietal lobe, and just inside the temporal bone, temporal lobes, 2 sides, this side and this side. Yeah, this blue part, this is temporal lobe, and backside there is occipital bone, and inside the occipital bone there is occipital lobe. In this way cerebrum is, that means, divided into 4 parts. What are those? Frontal lobe, parietal lobe, temporal lobe and occipital lobe. Then this, as you know that the cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. Already we have seen in this model also. Yeah, nearly it occupies 80% of the brain. It occupies nearly 80% of the brain. Then it is divided into 2 hemispheres. Already we have seen, see, this is one hemisphere, this is another hemisphere through this deep fissure. Okay, and next one is, in this 2 hemispheres again we can, that means there are many folding members. You can see here they are highly folded, which increases the surface area of the brain. And the outermost, that means our brain is made up of 2 types of matter, that is grayish color and whitish color matter. The outer part is made up of gray matter, whereas inner part of the brain is made up of white matter. That means gray matter and white matter are made up of neurons only. Okay. Next, what are the functions of this cerebrum? What function does it perform? Yes, see here in the picture, this boy is thinking. Here the shape is smelling the taste of the food, and here children are memorizing, and The boy is reading. That means all these activities are performed by the cerebrum. That means what functions does it perform? It is performing various functions like thinking, reasoning, speaking, vision. Yeah, all those are performed by this cerebrum. Here it conducts and control speech, memory, hearing. That means I am speaking, my cerebrum is controlling me. You are hearing, your hearing is also controlled by the cerebrum. And after listening to the class, after reading the class, you will memorize the things which you have learned. That is also performed by the cerebrum. It also creates consciousness, thoughts, stimuli. That means we are conscious about something. Okay? We think about something and we respond to the stimulus outside also. Those all are performed by the cerebrum. And also it helps to analyze the things, synthesize the things, analyze, and that means if something is given to you, you analyze from what it is made up of, what are the parts of it, analysis you do. Yes, whether it is wrong or right, whether it is made up of something else, like that. That is analysis. And you synthesize. Sometimes if you have given different parts and you have to assemble it or synthesize it, then that synthesizing is also done by the brain. That means different things we connect and make a story, different parts connect a poem, like that. And in the science activities also, we perform the various activities and make a sensible project, that is also synthesizing. And we predict the various things. That means prediction is also done by this cerebrum. And this cerebrum also control the other parts of brain. There are different parts of the brain, already we know, and those are controlled by the cerebrum. If there is, see, it controls many things. Okay, every function, that means visualizing, hearing, listening, or tasting, smelling, all those are controlled by the cerebrum. Even thinking, analyzing, synthesizing. So if there is injury occur in the cerebrum, if cerebrum is injured, then what happens? The person will go to coma. That means subconscious, or it lost the consciousness, lost the memory, and lost the ability to coordinate with others. That means it is the half dead state, which we call as a coma. Okay, in that way the cerebrum is very important part of the brain which perform various functions. Next one is cerebellum. See here, just below the cerebrum there is a small, just like a lemon shape, small lemon sized part of the brain, that is called cerebellum. This cerebellum is also made up of grey matter and white matter. Outside part is grey matter and inner part is white matter. Then here it occupies only 10% of the brain. It is small in size. Just see in this model also it is occupying, this cerebrum is very large but cerebellum is very small. It occupies only 10% of the brain. This is located in which place? See, just behind this pons varolii, above the, which is that part, medulla oblongata, and below the cerebrum. In this way it is located. Below cerebrum, behind the pons varolii, just above the medulla oblongata. And this what are the function of this cerebellum? What function does it control? Sometimes, see, we used to bend forward, sometimes we bend backward, and while moving we raise our leg, that means front, back, like that, and while doing some work we raise our hands and we do some work through our hands. There are muscle tones or the function, that means we perform various functions through our muscles. Yeah, these all the voluntary actions of the body is controlled by this cerebellum. And this cerebellum, that means it also maintains the posture of the body. while moving, balance our body, while standing, balance our body, when we bend and we do something, that time also this cerebellum just balance our body. And in this way, that means control the voluntary actions of our body. Next one is, if there is any injury occur in the cerebellum, what happens? That means the person may unbalance the voluntary movement, as well as sometimes he may go to the disability. Okay, these are the different functions of the cerebellum. Next one is, if sometimes you may have seen the alcoholic person. Yes, they used to whack like a stumbling, sometime up, sometime down, yeah, like that, sometime moving upward and sometime moving downward, just moving like this, yeah. See why that happens. When the person consume the alcohol affect the part of, that means which part? The cerebellum. Then the person will do like that. There is unbalanced in their move also. Next one is the last part of the brain, that is brainstem. Already we have discussed, yeah. There are three parts, that is midbrain, pons varolii and medulla oblongata. And in that, out of this brainstem, that means this brainstem mainly there, what are those parts I told? First, medulla oblongata, pons varolii and midbrain. This midbrain and pons varolii just act as a bridging between the spinal cord and brain. That means just passing the information from spinal cord to the brain, or from lower part of the brain to the upper part of the brain. But the medulla oblongata is very important part which controls, that means it controls the involuntary actions of our body. Involuntary actions means those which are not under the control of our will and wish. That means whenever we want to control it, we can't control. Just like respiration, blood circulation, that means blood pressure, can you control? No. When you feel hungry, can you control it? No. So these autonomic actions are controlled by this medulla oblongata. Let's see what are the functions. Just it control the respiration, blood pressure, yeah, sneezing, coughing, vomiting, swallowing. While that means when we chew the food and swallow, that is also controlled by this medulla oblongata. Even it helps in the secretion of the, that means glands. It helps to secrete the secretion through the glands, and just like digestive juice, semen, bile juice and other hormones, etc. If there is injury occur in the medulla oblongata, the person will instantly die. That means as it controls the involuntary actions of our body, if there is any injury occur in the medulla oblongata, the person will directly die. That means instant death occurs. Okay, today we have discussed about the different parts of the nervous system. Especially we discussed about the central nervous system. Inside the central nervous system also we discussed about the brain. Okay, so let's see what we have known to this chapter. Okay, let's check, find the correct alternative. Okay, which is the best answer, you choose it. Which of the following is the correct for meninges from outer layer to the inner layer? That means arrangement. See, already we have discussed, yeah, pia matter, arachnoid matter and dura matter. From outer to inner we are coming. So is this, which one is the correct? Arachnoid matter, pia matter, dura matter. Arachnoid matter, dura matter and pia matter. Dura matter, arachnoid matter and pia matter. Which one is the correct answer? Yes, very good. This is dura matter, arachnoid and pia matter. Next question. Which part of the nervous system control all parts of the body? Okay, which one is the correct answer? Yeah, very good. Brain. And next question. In which part of the brain does a person go into a coma? In which part of the brain, if there is injury, okay, the person goes into the coma? Which one? Just now we have discussed medulla oblongata. Last question. In the given diagram, Which part maintains the muscle tone? Just we have discussed just now which part is. Here say there is a figure is given. Which one? Yeah, the cerebellum. Then in which number cerebellum is? 3. So the correct answer is C. Thank you, students. We have learned about the different parts of the brain, central nervous system. I hope you will make a model of this brain, and also you will draw the figure of central nervous system, brain as well in your copy. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.